Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to 1970's Mowing. I am your host, the Rental Man Buck. On today's list, we have 3 relatively big homesteads to cut. And with $68 to my name, let's make some money because I need money. Everybody needs money. Let's roll the intro and get started with today's work. I'm going to do myself a favor and get loaded up with my mower. I only have a John Deere 56 inside my little shed. It's my main workhorse. I've been putting flyers up around down in the gas stations, trying to do it in the library, the post office, trying to get a couple clientele. The thing that really sucks, though, is that I don't have ramps for this trailer. It was a really cheap-made, homemade one, so I have to load it by picking it up and putting it in the back. I also grabbed my little weed sprayer, so you know it's never a bad idea to just kind of have one of those on hand. Gotta keep the weeds out. We are going to head out to our first client's house, where all 3 of these properties in this town are pretty much bigger than I would hope they were. I mean, that's good for us, that's good for business, but with a tiny little mower like that, the yards tend to stack up. That's one of them, but I'm going to do that one second. We'll park in the alleyway, and we'll see you guys in just a second. Hopefully quite a few people do not drive out in this area. I'm just going to leave the truck on the road. Now that we've got that unloaded, I'm going to start by working around the outskirts. If you guys like content like this and would love to see more, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe down below. You guys do know we are on the race to 100,000 public subscribers by the end of this year. For all that also don't know, I own a John Deere 56 in real life. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but looking at the motors blocked the other day, I did a fair inspection and I've come to the conclusion that that block is shot. So the motor rebuild portion of our John Deere 56 project, you guys can find at the top right, is going to be a little bit further delayed. Haven't decided whether I'm going to do a full motor replacement or try and mock up something and put a different engine in there. Either way, we'll figure it out as we go. Everybody in this town has a roughly about the same size yard, so my price tag for this yard is $5. Hitting the comment section, though, I have a question for you all. If you have, or if you are currently fixing, using, or building a business with a little lawnmower, what might that lawnmower be? I personally grew up with a walk-behind John Deere GS45, and then this is the only riding mower that I've ever actually owned myself. I didn't get the glory of being able to have a rider while I grew up, but you know what? I think that old walk-behind with me and my dad, but that's why we got iron legs of steels, because we just walked like 4 miles every single time we mowed the yard. I'll just finish up the back first since there's not much left, and then we have to do inside the fence, and that's going to be kind of a pain. I don't have a weed whacker yet, so we're going to have to figure something out with that. I would say a goal that I have for building this business is to someday eventually get a better shop than a hobo hut, and probably a little bit wider of a mower deck, but until that time, we're going to have to stick with our little John Deere 56. But I'm going to shut my trap, turn on some nice 70s music, and let you guys watch the mowing commence. Checking back in now, I kind of have one complaint about this mower, and that might be on my end. It seems to be skipping every now and then on some of these blades. I have to come back and hit it a second time. I mean, I know this is tall grass, but dang. I either need to sharpen the blades or get a more powerful motor. Either way, I got this little spot left, and then there's the one spot on the other side of the pathway, and we are done with this. I will finish this up, get you guys one quick overlook of the done and mowed lawn. We will grab our money, and we are on our way. How silly of me. I forgot that I gotta spray a little bit so I can get the weeds around the transformer so they don't build up. Quick shot there. While we're making our way over to the pool, you guys can see this beautiful lawn. Came out really, really well. I'm glad that we actually were able to do it. Oh, we missed a spot. I'll hit it with my pocket knife. Don't worry. I've done this before. Get right up alongside the pool quick, and we are on our way. There is our payments. Let's move on to property number 2. That place really did turn out nice. I actually really like that. The next project up on our schedule is the one that was located directly next to our mowing shop. This property is at least a lot more open than the previous one. Plus, they said I could park in their driveway, so that gets me off the main roads. So hopefully everybody sees me when I'm trying to back this thing in. I really need to get run into at this point. Let's get ourselves unloaded. This thing takes enough of a beating anyway. Just, yep, right there. Perfect. That's how you get that thing off. We'll mow our second property. We'll start by cutting around the border of the property itself, and then we can start doing our back and forth passes, and this one will be a lot easier since we don't have that fence line to worry about. But I don't want to hit the mailbox either, and I know I probably would hit that if I tried. The turn radius on this thing really isn't worth bragging about either. The mowing setup, though, in my opinion, is definitely one for the books. Like, that's a good-looking truck, it's a good-looking trailer, and the mower itself, I mean, it's John Deere. You can't really get much better than that. Maybe Exmark, but that's to each their own. For all of you wonderful people who might be wondering what map I am on the Griffin, Indiana map. This is a all-platform mod that you can get on the Giants Mod Hub. I do apologize, as this also is the map that is home to the Hay Farm series. If you guys would like to check more content out on that, you can find that playlist in the top right-hand corner. I've kind of been preoccupied the last few days, as of this morning, I am officially now Uncle Buck. That is right, my sister finally had her kid, so now I am officially, and I mean officially, an uncle. Does that mean I'm going to be the crazy uncle that has all the cool stuff? Probably. I'm currently channeling my inner John Candy because when I go and visit her, I have to wear the Uncle Buck hat that you guys know I wear during streams. I think the best bet, though, is to start sectioning this yard off, and I will start doing my forward and backwards passes. So let's get that underway, and I'll catch you guys back when we have a little bit more of this yard cut. All that is left now is our little front portion where we have to do our circle around the tree. That's always been my favorite part. I don't know what it is about mowing lawns in Farm Sim, or just mowing in real life, but for some odd reason, going around the trees is always my favorite part. It's a lot more fun with a mower that can do 0 turns, though. I don't really care for having to do the 12-point turn around a tree, but I'll finish up with this tiny little segment. We'll get one quick little overlook at the property, and then we'll get our money and off to the last job of the day. That is fantastic. Another happy, satisfied customer. Let's head out and get to our final project of the day. I don't know if it's just me, but this combo looks absolutely spectacular. Like the older red paint on the trailer mixed with the mower, and then the old school look of the truck. This is a good looking setup. Our last drive I should be able to get to from this last road. I kind of got to look at my map though. Yep, and here is the final house. This one's not as long of grass. Hopefully that means it's going to be a lot easier and a better cut for us. We'll park it up in the driveway and get started. I'll tune on some more 70s music and you guys can jam along with me as we get this lawn underway. should be left now is to do this back portion around the volleyball net, and we are done. I will be cleaning off my machinery though. One big important thing I cannot stress enough. Keep your equipment nice, keep your blades sharp, keep your paint clean, and it will last you a lot longer than you think it will. I got my garden hose and the floor jack sitting at home in the shed. I'm gonna pretty much lift this thing up and blast underneath the deck to make sure we get all that built up grass out of there, because we do not need the bottom of our deck rusting through. And I'd like to keep this mower for at least a little bit longer until I need to sell it off, and hey, it helps with the resale value, right? Who knows, maybe some kid in 50 years when he buys this thing will try and rebuild the motor on it and watch it blow up, then I could sit up there and laugh at him. I also didn't realize that this grass I was not able to cut. I would have had to have planted it, so I kind of apologize for just, you know, scalping this guy's yard. But hey, I mean, it looks good. He's got the shortest lawn in the entire county, just hoping that it doesn't burn it. After a little over an hour of work, though, cutting grass, I will say the fuel economy is pretty surprising on this thing. I'm getting pretty good MPG. We got 3 lawns done, and I haven't even gone through a quarter of a tank yet. That means we'd be able to sweep this entire town up on 1 tank of fuel. I'll take that for profit. Well, it takes like 10 cents to fill this thing up anyway. Let's finish up this lawn, though, head our way back to the homestead, get this thing cleaned off, and we can end out our day on a high note. We're getting paid for the job. Let's make our way back to the homestead, get these things all nice and cleaned up. Heading back to the comments, I need your guys' help. I own this entire little square, and I don't want to cut the back half of the yard yet, but I also need to grow the business in order to actually make it worth my while to do anything with it. So hit the comments up. What do you think I should do with this business? Should I go with it and make it an actual series where I do lawn cutting into the 90s and the thousands and I get newer mowers each year? Or do we keep it where we do it old-fashioned and I just basically build a fleet? I'm going to get in the shed, though, and grab my little jack. Come here, you. Try and get it up a little higher so I can actually see underneath the deck. There we go. Now we're actually cleaning this thing. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for checking this one out. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe down below. If you want to see more old school mowing with this 70s style mowing company, be sure to let me know down in the comments down below. Also consider by doing it, hitting the like button. But I'm going to get myself set up for the shop as we are done for the day. And we will see you all in the next one. This is the Rental Man out. Peace.